Hi-yo Silver! Away!
Alright, let's see what's on the agenda for today. Bust movie. Polish hammer. What am I supposed to be doing now? Oh! It's time for an E-Rod snack! No way! That's what I call a prize. People often ask me why I wear the mask. The truth is, it has nothing to do with hiding my identity. The mask is a symbol, cause when filmmakers make movies without our consent, and the opinion of the fans are outlawed, the fans must become outlaws. Fanboys and fangirls, I'm E-Rod and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. One of the very first costumed heroes to gain mass appeal was Franz Stryker's The Lone Ranger. Originally a radio show in the 1930s, the adventures of the masked lawman and his trusty Native American sidekick, Tonto, proved so popular that in 1949 it became the first show to successfully make the transition from radio to television, becoming one of the highest rated and most popular shows of its era. Starring Clayton Moore as the Lone Ranger and Jay Silverheels as Tonto, the series followed the adventures of a former Texas Ranger, John Reed, who finds out that to fight for justice in the corrupt Old West, one must work outside the law. As a masked vigilante, a lawman without a posse, a Lone Ranger. Along with his trusty partner Tonto, a Comanche warrior who wants justice for the wrongs done to his people, together they fought to punish the corrupt and help the helpless.
Actually, even the Lone Ranger had Tonto on the horse. Right. Tonto. Horse.
When I found out that they were making a Lone Ranger movie, I was beyond excited. Especially when I found out that the film was being distributed by Disney and produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Those are two signs that a lot of money and quality were going into the production of this film. Then suddenly, without warning, the film started to be heavily chastised by professional critics. I use quotation marks when I say that because I don't think it was very professional of them to release official published reviews of this movie 7 to 8 months before the movie was even released. And most of these reviews pretty much focused on the movie's behind-the-scenes problems. One of these major criticisms was that they were trying to pathetically recreate the success of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. This is part of the initial reviews that no one can deny. After all, this film had the same studio, the same producer, the same director, the same writers, and the same star as Pirates. But on their defense, it's not like they were hiding this fact, as all the trailers of this film blatantly stated that the film was made by the same team. Now I will admit that I did feel a bit of personal trepidation when I noticed that the actor playing Tonto had higher billing than the actor playing the titular role. But hey, like I said, the behind-the-scenes problems that this movie has had have received enough criticism from the professional critics. So I'm gonna judge this movie as it should be judged, by its content. So put on your mask and keep your drawing hands on your shooting irons as we take a look at 2013's The Lone Ranger. So our movie begins in 1933, where we find a young boy dressed as the Lone Ranger, as he attends a fair and goes into a Wild West exhibition, where he finds that an elderly Tonto, played by Johnny Depp, has been made part of the exhibition. The boy questions whether he is the real Tonto or not, and thus, Tonto begins regaling the boy with the tale of the Lone Ranger. Okay, a couple of things. Firstly, major props to the makeup effects team in this film, cause Tonto's elderly makeup looks amazing. Secondly, are they really gonna go with this framing device?
When good man must...
Hold it. What is this? Are you trying to trick me? Is this a kissing book?
And thirdly, I will admit that Tonto passing on the legend of the Lone Ranger to a young fan raises an interesting theory. What if this young fan is none other than Brett Reed? And who is Brett Reed, you might ask? the Green Hornet. You see, it is part of the Green Hornet's origin that newspaper publisher Brett Reed is inspired by his great-great-great-grandfather, John Reed, aka the Lone Ranger, to fight against organized crime as the vigilante known as the Green Hornet. Now, if that is the intent of the writers, then that is awesome! What? The IMDb page credits the little boy as Will? I'm sorry, Apophenia. Look it up. So our story begins with Tonto and the Lone Ranger, played by Armie Hammer, robbing a bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, my colleague and I will be making a withdrawal. I understand this bank is insured, so... Nobody move.
What's with the mask?
Ah, that's my assistant. Little running gag.
I guess I didn't make myself clear. This is a damn bank robbery!
Wait, they're really robbing a bank? The Lone Ranger and Tonto are good guys. They would never rob a bank.
But the Lone Ranger and Tonto were good guys. I mean, they didn't rob banks.
What he said!
Did they?
Come-time. Kimosabi.
Wait, you're not going to explain this? You're just going to restart the story? I am starting to lose my patience, old man! So the movie begins, again, in 1869, in the town of Colby, where all-powerful train tycoon Latham Cole waits for a very important train. Wait a minute, that's Tom Wilkinson! Who was also in the crappy Green Hornet movie, playing Brett's dad. Coincidence? I think not! Oh, shut up. But Mr. Cole is not the only one waiting for this train, as a group of Texas Rangers led by the legendary Dan Reed wait as well. As this particular train is transporting one of the most dangerous criminals in the West, Butch Cavendish, played by William Fisher. Coincidentally, Dan's brother, John Reed, is also on the train.
Catch.
Really? They're gonna portray John Reed as a silly, comic relief, lily-livered city boy? You know what? Fuck it. I'll give it a chance. Another interesting coinkydink is that Tonto is part of the prisoner transport along with Butch, who suddenly makes a break for it thanks to a strategically placed gun. Now, one of the major criticisms this film has gotten is that they got a Caucasian actor to play the Native American Tonto. My personal feeling is that the role should go to the best actor no matter what his race is. Like, for example, Michael Clark Duncan did an incredible job as the Kingpin. And come on, it's not like Johnny Depp is gonna play the part as Jack Sparrow in a different hat with a different accent.
Ow! The hell was that for?
Bird. Angry.
Time has finally come, Wendigo.
I know you, Agent. You know me. You know me by the screams of my ancestors in the desert wind. As you will know their cries of joy when I remove your evil seed from the face of earth.
10 years you carried a pistol, now you waste your shot.
Okay. John hears the commotion and heads into the car to lend a hand, but is overtaken by Butch's men, who come to pick him up.
Lawyer to crazy engine. Bet you two got a lot to talk about.
That's crazy.
Is it just me, or does this seem familiar? Well, it's not exactly the same. You know what? I'm just being paranoid. This is in no way a clone of Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, there's no way nobody else noticed that. So our heroes are off to stop Butch, as Tonto wants revenge and John wants justice. But Butch's men set up the train to crash at full speed, so our heroes have no choice but to break off pursuit and save the train passengers by detaching the cars from the locomotive. While this might save the passengers, it does not stop the locomotive from crashing, with them on it!
Hey, hold it right there. I'm afraid I have to take you in.
Wait, he helped you save the passengers. Give the guy a break.
Speak English, don't you?
Oh, Lord, this is hard.